Good morning. This is the third time I've attempted to record this video, so we're going to think that the third time is the charm. Today, we are going to be making these mini folders. These are a great scrap busting project. They're also very nice to make when you are doing a particular journal and you've got all your paper laid out and you've decided on your theme and your colors and all of that. You will have pieces of scrap paper from making that journal that you need to use somehow, and this project is great for that. Also, if you have a general look to your particular journals that you make and you want to make some of these ahead of time to have, that's also a great idea. So today I'm going to show you how to make these. You are going to need this paper. It's scrapbook paper, and that's a confusing term into its own. It's a decent weight of paper. As you know, if you've ever handled file folders, the normal regular ones that you use in the office, they're pretty thick because you're pulling them in and out of a drawer, in and out of, notebooks and that sort of thing all the time. So, you want something that's pretty substantial. And that's what I've used here. So, anything heavier than printer paper is going to be good. So, let's make this one. Forgot to ink the little tab. But anyway, we're going to make these today. There is no particular size to these, okay? They, like I said, are great for using scraps, and you can make them in any size. Just kind of need the proportion to be, close to folder proportions. A little bit wider this way than you are this way. You're going to need a tab, there at the top, and I'm going to show you how to make those. So you need a piece of scrapbook paper that's, a little bit substantial. You are also going to need a folder of some sort. You can use a scoring board if you would like. You don't have to. I'm not going to use one today. And you're going to need this little punch. This little punch came from Hobby Lobby. Ever since I saw somebody making the folders on one of my Facebook groups or YouTube or somewhere, I have been desperate to make these folders, and I have tried every way possible. I cannot cut the tab with a pair of scissors. It looks awful. Some people can just round those corners with a pair of scissors, and it looks like it has been done by a hole punch, and they are amazing to me, but I cannot do that. So I have been searching for this hole punch and finally found it at Hobby Lobby, and it is very inexpensive. The regular price on it is $2.29 right now, as of the middle of May 2025, and then I got it at 40% off. So, like I said, very inexpensive, but this is a requirement if you cannot round corners by yourself with a pair of scissors, as I cannot. And these little tabs will not fit in my big hole punch, so that's why I bought this little one. Spent the $1, whatever it was, to buy the little one. And if you like to ink your projects, then you're going to need some ink and a pair of scissors. Other than that, I'm going to use a paper cutter. If you cut your paper with scissors and are good at that and can cut straight lines, I am in awe of you, and I wish you all the best. You go right at it. But I'm going to use a paper cutter. And this is a piece of scrap that I have from another project. I wanted to show that you can actually use scraps for this. And I'm just going to cut the part off that's already been used. Now we have this piece of scrapbook paper. I want to do, if you can see in this one, you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to leave, you know, a little space at the top. So, and this one is about 4 inches by 2 3/4, and that's without the tab. With the tab, it's 3 1/4. So that tab's about a ½ inch or so. So let's make this. Here, we might as well use it. About 4 inches wide. Again, you can make these any size. You can make the bigger one, like I made here. It is almost 6 by 3 and almost a half. I mean, a little over a half, or 4 with the tab. So there we have it. Okay, so we have a strip of paper here about the size that about the width that we want our folder to be. Now, and I'm using one-sided scrapbook paper. You can totally use two-sided scrapbook paper if you would like. And what we're going to do is just fold it. Fold it to the width or the length, you know, whatever that you want. Okay. Then we're going to cut it again, and we're going to leave a little strip at the top. Okay. Just like that. Great, but it's okay. It doesn't have to be. Then, keep this still. With a pencil, especially the first couple of times you do this, I would make a little mark as to where you want your tab to be. Okay, this one's going to be on this end. So I'm going to put it back in my paper cutter. And we are going to cut to that line. That little mark. Okay? And then we're going to use our scissors and cut it this way. I'm in the camera. Okay. And I did that in pencil, so I can erase it. Erase that mark if I need to. Okay. So, here we are with our raw or rough folder. Okay, here comes the fun part with this little tiny corner punch. I like all my corners rounded. If you don't, then feel free not to round your corners, but I am going to do so. Okay. So all of these little corners are easy to get into our punch. This one is the troublemaker. What you're going to want to do, there's a little slot in the side of this hole punch that allows you to push that paper all the way in. See it in there now. And then you make sure you're lined up and everything is, and there you go. There's your little rounded corner. And that just makes me so happy. I didn't trim that exactly as it should have been. Okay, but anyway, there you go. And that's how you make those little folders. Isn't that the cutest thing? And I have made them even smaller than this. So it can be done. And then, like I said, if you like your things inked, then you just go through. I ink both sides. And there you are. Okay? That's how you make a miniature folder. This one ended up being approximately 4 inches wide by 2 1/4 if you don't include the tab. But that's how you do that. And I am so excited to share with you, and so excited to have that skill and that particular tool, the mini corner punch, in my arsenal of things to use, because it has allowed me to be able to make these mini folders. Thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you're having a great Friday and that your weekend will be fabulous. Thanks again. Take care. All of these corners are